Well, good afternoon and welcome. I'm Chris McSwain from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Bay Street Realty Group. And today I have the great pleasure to be here at the D.R. Horton site with their really dream team of Rochelle, Mike, and Samantha. So what I'd like to do is let each of them introduce themselves to you. They have a wonderful story. Each of them have worked here for a number of years for D.R. Horton, and I think that you're going to really enjoy getting to know them better first. Rochelle?
Thank you, Chris. My name is Rochelle Ferguson. I'm with D.R. Horton, have been with D.R. for the last 10 years and just live and breathe the great new construction industry and love working here. Okay. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, Chris, we appreciate it. I'm Mike Taylor. Working on 11 years now. I'm an old guy in the group. Love new construction. I've worked for several builders. And really appreciate working for America's largest builder. A lot of perks come with that. We do have a really great story to tell here, and we're all on the same team, so we tell the same story.
Yeah, and I'm Samantha G. I've been with D.R. Horton for 8 years now, so I'm the baby of the group, but have lots and lots of prior new home experience. Thanks.
Well, I can tell you that the product that I see is selling like hotcakes, and there's a reason for that, and we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. But you know, this group, you know, Mike mentioned the word team, and as I've gotten to know each of them, they really do operate as a team. So if you don't mind, any one of you, please elaborate on what being a team means to you.
It's almost like a superpower.
Yeah.
So we've each have a leg in the community, and we have a lot of realtor relationships, and these two have strengths that I don't. So it allows us to really to appeal to all buyer types. And like I said, all of our realtor connections know each of us. So it makes for a very comfortable environment when they know they can just call, and all of us are going to give that same level of customer care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not 24/7, but if one of you couldn't take the call, the other one would pick right up.
Somebody's
Absolutely.
picking up that phone.
Okay, and so it doesn't matter who answers the phone; they're going to know who you are. Because my guess is you're always collaborating on who the customers are
Yep.
in the pipeline. So it's not as though you're starting over at zero and like, who are you and what's your particular need. All of that gets picked up and handed off seamlessly from one to the other. I think that's an awesome attribute of the team. You know, Mike, I'm going to go back to you. You mentioned the largest company, so you know that's a big deal. So tell us what are the advantages to the customer of D.R. Horton being the nation's largest home builder?
Well, buying power for one, and then when market shifts and you have ebbs and flows, you have some builders that may not hang around too long. We are by far the biggest builder in the country. We don't operate with banks, very financially stable. So we're able to acquire more of the name brand products and deliver at a more sufficient pace.
Mm-hmm. Any other comments from either of you about working at D.R. Horton and what it's like to be the country's largest builder?
We have a great marketing team that helps with advertising and getting the word out on our website and through MLS, and just we have a lot of support staff. Closing department is phenomenal. We also own an insurance company. D.R. Horton owns a mortgage company and a title company. So our closing team is phenomenal. They make all the transactions flow seamlessly, and then with the mortgage department, we're able to get people pre-qualified even on the weekends. So if they come in on a Saturday, usually by Saturday or Sunday, we can get them pre-qualified and under contract for their new home.
Wow, I mean that's a very vertically integrated set of suppliers to make life easier for the buyer, particularly the mortgage. My guess is y'all are always running some sort of a special on mortgage or some sort of financial incentives. What's the current incentives that you're offering new home buyers?
We have $8,500 toward closing costs with a preferred lender and our closing attorney. That's the current that we're offering.
$8,500.
$8,500.
And how does the buyer typically use that money? Are they just using it for closing costs? Or are they buying down interest rates?
toward closing costs.
Okay,
And sometimes they can also buy down the interest rate.
okay. So I'm curious, what's their reaction when they learn that?
They absolutely love it. Who wouldn't want to save money, right?
And the
You know?
ability
That's
for
right.
them to choose how they use it. So
Exactly.
we don't put them in a corner and say this is how you're going to use the money we're giving you. We tailor it to each buyer because buyers' needs are different. VA buyers, FHA buyers, first-time homeowners. Everybody has different needs. So we're able to kind of maneuver that through what works best for them because it needs to be a good experience. It doesn't need to be a stressful experience, and it doesn't have to be. So they give us a lot of freedom there.
Well,
Another benefit to being the biggest builder in the country.
Well,
They give us a
and
lot of freedom.
I was going to kind of amplify that a little bit. You know, typically, new home building on the stress meter is, you know, very, very high. Marriages have ended over new home builds. So I think y'all go a long way to de-stressing and making the process as enjoyable as possible. You know, for example, the title insurance, the closing experts. I mean, not only would a customer be dealing with this group as a team, they're also dealing with the broader DR Horton team that takes you all the way from the beginning through the end of the construction process. Is that a fair statement?
Very, very fair.
We try to make it seamless
And fun.
and fun.
So every one of us, whoever our customer is, every week we go out, take pictures, send updates to the customer and the agent that they may be working with. And we also, are available, any one of us is available to escort the purchaser through their new home property. And we're there to meet with them and the builder on site at various points in time during the construction process, but especially towards the end, there's a homeowner orientation walk where the builder tells them all about how their new home works and answers any questions that they may have. So nice seamless process with that. The builder fixes anything that may be required to be fixed prior to closing, and then we get them to the closing table and give them their keys and welcome them to the new community.
You know, I've built a few houses in my lifetime, and no one sent me pictures every week, so I think that's pretty cool. I think even in each of the communities that you operate, when you say it's fun, I mean, I think you're also doing some things within the communities just so that not only at the point of sale, but after the point of sale, that you're fostering this really nice attitude and somewhat of a culture, perhaps, vibe within each of the developments that you're building. Is that also correct?
Yeah, like we tell people, we live here, and we're going to see you at a restaurant. We're going to see you at Target. We want you to say hi to us and hug us, not to look at us and go, oh, there's that person. It's not worth that. So we're not the builder for everybody, but we are the builder for a lot of people.
Sure.
And that experience that you have here is solely based on, not just a builder, but it's based on the superintendent. It's based on our tenure and knowledge, and we hold on to those buyers even after closing because we've built in our customer service surveying and customer service scores into our relationship building with our buyers. So we keep them even after closing. We keep with our buyers because you can happy homeowners don't become happy the day of closing. There's still a little bit of work to do after closing.
We want our homeowners to have such a great experience, We want our homeowners to have such a great experience that they want their friends and family to also live here. So we have a lot of that going on. And also we have a lot of homeowners that they may have bought in one community in the Bluffton area, but then decide that they want to purchase here too, so that we have multiple repeat buyers over the years.
Oh, great.
So that's always exciting as well.
Yep, had one of those this morning.
Yeah.
Bought from us in 2016. Back to the table.
Yeah, good for y'all. Congratulations.
I had one that bought with me 18 months ago in Cypress Ridge, and they're back here building a brand new house with me now.
Well, does that mean that you do such a good job they just want to come and do it again?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
They love it.
Because my customers are keeping their first home, and they're going to turn that into an investment property, and now they're upgrading to another home here.
Well, building a home, construction in general, it's been my experience that about every industry has its own unique language, and home construction is no different. And it can be terribly confusing to hear about R values and HVACs and all these other items. So I know that y'all have a very structured process of helping sort of de-stress and uncomplicate these types of decisions. So you have options and packages that people can review. You have a design group that does that. But once you're locked into the system, then you're on the road for your delivery. But as you go through that process of construction, I know you're sending pictures each week, but how do you help the buyer really understand what's going to happen this week, what's going to happen next week? Is there some sort of a schedule that you give people to help them understand what to expect?
Actually, yeah, there is. I actually send out, when I send out my photos, I have like a little, just like a little thing that says, hey, you're in framing, or, you know, next week this will start. We have like a process that we go through. And Mike actually, or we all kind of do like a construction 101 class, and so that kind of helps us know what the next stages are.
Yeah. So there's pretty clear cut stages of construction. We try to emphasize to people that once your house starts, it takes on a life of its own. Every house is its own thing, but the process is still the same. So whenever we give updates, this is where your house is, this is what happened last week, this is what we expect to happen next week. So setting those it's expectations. Everything in this business is about expectations. So those 13 stages of construction, we have conversations with people to what depth they want to get involved.
Oh, great.
Some people say I don't want to know much about it, and some people say, well, let's talk about it. So we've sat with people and just gone through the whole process for what to expect at each stage, and people like to hear that story.
Yeah, so it sounds like no matter what your level of prior experiences are, you have a team here that's willing to meet you where you're at and provide whatever level of detail that you desire in helping go through the process without kind of getting all stressed out. And I agree completely. Knowing what's getting ready to happen the week after just sort of, takes a lot of worry out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and seeing the pictures, it seems like it's almost you're building this team not only among yourselves, but with your buyer. You sort of have a team among you and the buyer to walk them through the process and get them across the finish line successfully.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, each community is going to be a little bit different. Let's talk about this one, where we're at right now. Let's start at a big picture. So what's going on around the development? Then we'll get into what's going on in the development.
Around big pictures, you, Mike.
Okay, so the big picture. So this is what Rochelle likes to call the next big thing. This is our next really, really, really big project. But the lifestyle here, we're right in the middle between Bluffton and Beaufort. So we're in this middle range right now. So you're not so close to Bluffton, but strategically we're in a really good spot. Hospital, interstate, the beaches, and right in between both. So we get a lot of military that comes from Beaufort. They may like Bluffton, people that work in Bluffton, but we want to go. It's just location-wise, it's really, really great. And so that's like the macro. But as we come into our location, we're in a spot where there's a local Publix coming in, within a golf cart ride. You don't even have to get on the highway to get to it. The large 55,000 square foot YMCA that Rochelle knows a lot about. All of those.
How big is the YMCA?
55,000 square feet.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and we are the first neighborhood just past it. So again, golf cart ride around the corner. That's going to be the next big thing, and we've needed a YMCA for a long time. A lot of people are really excited about that. Yeah. We're even selling houses to people that are transferring down here to work at this YMCA from New York and New Jersey and Ohio's and everywhere else. So. Location's great, and the lifestyle that this will offer, being so close to commercial and shopping and restaurants and whatnot, that's what people want for that low country lifestyle.
There'll be commercial mixed use in the front of the community where that Publix is, along with the traffic light to gain access into the community. So restaurant, retail, shopping there in the front. And then you'll make your way down and come into where the YMCA is, and then you'll come to our community, across the way is Osprey Village, slated to be, under construction, hopefully very soon. Osprey Village is a community for developmentally disabled adult children that live and work in the area now. So many of them may be transferring over to the Publix here, and other shops and restaurants that would employ them. So really great arrangement with that, and they'll also have lots of supportive services on site in Osprey Village. So it's been an effort that's been in the making for probably the last 20 or so years now in this area. And then as you make your way down further, there's the Meeting Street Public Charter School, and that's currently kindergarten and first grade with about 1 grade a year added every year. Eventually it'll be a fixed structure, and then as you make your way down further, there's going to be another community that we will develop called the Sanctuary at East Argent with 1,500 home sites, and then additional builders and developers will build probably about another 6,000 to 8,000 homes. So, and then this roadway will also connect with Argent Boulevard, and you'll have easy access to I-95 and, hop on up to head back north or go down south to enjoy more great weather.
Community, the retreat at East Argent. And we're going to learn a little bit more basically from a bigger picture view, and I'll ask Mike about that, and then we're going to get more into the specifics of this community. All right. Well, Rochelle, that's amazing to me to see that much infrastructure going into this particular area. And I'm just going to mention one item that might seem trivial, but is really important in making a decision where you're going to live, is the red light. Having a traffic light in an area that's going to have some traffic, going out to major roads, is a really essential part of the development. Not every development will offer that. So just the convenience of being able to get out and enjoy all the nice places that you just said. Actually, traffic lights, pretty nice thing to have.
Yeah.
It's crucial.
Kind of a necessity.
Yeah, I know. But I also want to call attention to the vision that the folks here at D.R. Horton have had. This particular tract of land, Rochelle mentioned nearly 10,000 homes that will be going into this area. D.R. Horton,
So,
misunderstood. Sorry.
yep, it's okay. So this community, the retreat at East Argent, 612 home sites here.
Okay.
The next community, so under roof with this, with what we have now is probably 150 homes out of 612
Here at the retreat.
here at the retreat.
Okay.
And then the sanctuary hasn't started yet, so not under roof yet.
Okay.
So not currently under roof.
Okay.
If I can
Sure.
make that.
Is I'd like to go back. Each of you mentioned some really great resources and infrastructure here. I'm particularly fascinated with the YMCA. At the retreat, you also have really great facilities that we'll talk about more in just a minute, but what's going to be offered through the YMCA?
So the YMCA will be a 55,000 square foot YMCA. Construction hopefully will start very soon, and they'll have extensive water aquatics programs, including especially for children. So swim lessons, all the typical YMCA type of fitness activities, pickleball, tennis courts. They should have walking trails over there. It's really very, very exciting to be a part of it and to have it so close by our community. It's really attracted a lot of people.
Sure.
They'll have aftercare programs as well, probably summer camps for children. So very much needed resource here in this area, because this area attracts a lot of people that are moving here with families, and so aftercare and water aquatics program is very much needed.
Well, thank you. And the other thing that I heard you mention was, and you'll be able to drive there with a golf cart.
Yeah.
I understood that correctly. So do you envision the retreat to become more of a golf cart community where people are able to, without having to crank the car, get in the cart and go, buy groceries if they wanted at the Publix, or go to the YMCA or any of the other facilities that are being offered here?
It's a low country way of life. You have flip flops and the dog and the koozie and hop on the golf cart and go do what you have to do. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's actually very great to understand, because while there is a lot of homes in the area, there's tremendous convenience that's being pre-thought and developed concurrently with all the new homes here.
Right.
The amenities here at the retreat. Would one of you mind telling our viewers just really what's offered today?
Really great amenities here at the retreat at East Argent. Beautiful pool, great shade umbrellas, lounge chairs. There's a small workout room, covered pavilion area, restroom facilities, a beautiful playground that is shaped like a shrimp boat with swings, and lots of open space. Here when we're working on site, we see the families throwing the ball around and running. Very active community. People walking the dogs and running and jogging. So it's a great community to be a part of.
Great. Well, let's talk about the product. It's beautiful, by the way. Now, you've mentioned D.R. Horton is number one, and there's a lot of efficiencies that they've built in through the years. As I look around, I see very high attention to detail and high quality. What is it that you feel and have come to know after 8 or 10 years working with D.R. Horton that separates them or even identifies them as a builder?
Answers. Well, again, we're able to pivot very quickly. So as the market shifts and as we see demand from buyers, we sit down with upper management and we talk about what's next. Removing tubs and adding showers and adding closets and so forth and so on. So again, the benefit of working with the biggest builders, they're in tune with what we see happening in the market. Several things that we do in construction, our quick tie system. A lot of people don't really appreciate what's behind the walls. A lot goes into behind the walls. So again, why we like to meet people and walk them through the stages of construction to build value of what's behind that drywall. But a lot of our packages now, or all of our packages now, our 3 packages, are all designed by a coordinator, and that changes as time goes on. As interests change and tastes come and tastes go and whatnot, they sit down and they totally restructure our packages based on not just the resale market, but what buyers are looking for in the market.
Okay. Yeah. But there's really much more, as I've listened to you, that I think our viewers need to hear. Would somebody elaborate a little bit more on some of the other programs that you feel really great about?
So we have a really great home buyers club program. So if somebody comes in and maybe they're not financially qualified today to purchase a home, we can help them get into a situation where they are able to be qualified to purchase a home by getting them enrolled in our home buyers club program to improve their credit score, improve their overall savings, and just make their quality of life better financially, so that they can start building their equity in their new home with us. They're not required to purchase a home with us by enrolling in the program, but it does a lot of things to help improve their financial lifestyle, so that they can start building their equity in their new home.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm sure very appreciated, because you're helping people generate wealth.
Definitely.
And for the people who have served our country in one way or another, do you have any programs for them?
Absolutely.
We have our Main Street Stars program, and we just offer extra closing cost incentives for them, $1,000 to $2,000 for that program.
Okay. Well, let me just say in summary regarding the retreat at East Argent, is there any other information that we haven't discussed that you feel like our viewers, buyers would really want to know, need to know?
It's really important to come in as soon as possible to get the process started, because we tend to sell very quickly here in this community. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not to purchase a home and whether or not now is a great time, absolutely 100% now is a great time to come in and purchase a new home with us. And if we run out, well, then get on our interest list and wait for the next phase to come, because there will be a next phase.
Yeah, that's awesome. And any other final comments on the retreat?
Well, I'll just say that the growth here has been on a consistent run. The best time to buy a house was yesterday, and that hasn't changed in the 11 years that I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could go back 11 years and buy a bunch of them myself.
Same.
The growth here, we're the destination. Everybody wants to move here. It's a great place to be. And I tell buyers all the time, it's a house, not a sweater. It's a really big deal. So when you're entrusting that big of a deal to someone, go with the biggest builder in the country and a tenure team that has your best interest.
Yeah, I walk away sensing the genuine caring that someone makes a good decision, they're prepared and gotten ready to make that decision, and that you offer a lot of extra things that people may not have come in expecting that could really be essential in making your decision. So thank you all for our time today to talk about the retreat at East Argent.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Chris. We appreciate it.
All right, so what's the next one you want to talk about?
Baynard Cove.
Baynard Cove.
So Baynard Cove is over in Beaufort. It's in Port Royal. So there's 45, or actually,
Hold on, I'm going to set you up.
oh, go ahead. Set me up.
All right, so we're going to go to Baynard Cove. D.R. Horton is the nation's largest builder, and proof to that point, the retreat at East Argent is not the only development that they have going on. Another one is called Baynard Cove. So I think, Sam, you're going to tell us some more about Baynard Cove.
Yeah, Baynard Cove is a cute community over in Beaufort. It's right there in Port Royal. It's 44 total homes in the community, so it's just very, very small, very quaint.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally see the Broad River Bridge and the beautiful marshes from the community.
Great.
We have 5 different plans in there, from about 1,400 square feet to about, what's the largest we have in there? About 2,200 square feet. So
nice size homes.
Nice size homes, beautiful hardy plank siding, low country, just a low country appeal. Some of them have double front porches, just a super, how would you say, picturesque,
It is very picturesque.
serene, community. It's very quiet. It's close to Paris Island, close to the air station. The sands of Port Royal. It's our little local beach.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Port Royal is an up-and-coming area within this general vicinity of the state. The product, though, would be of the same fit, finish, quality, features that's offered here at the retreat. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It is. Natural gas, stainless steel appliances, tankless water heaters, smart home outfitted, all that stuff that for us now is a standard. It's an expectation in the market. But you'll see hardy plank siding over there. Again, it's just a little bit of a different feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has luxury vinyl plank all on the first floors. In our single level home, there's no carpet. And that's another thing that, buyers really appreciate that. And the same thing with the 2-story, there's no carpet on the first floor.
Okay. Same sort of financing offers, same type of vertically integrated process among title company, closers, mortgage companies, all of that's the same.
Yeah, we're actually offering a little bit better incentives over in that community. We're offering $10,000 toward closing costs, which is a really big deal.
Sure.
And below interest market rates as well.
Yeah, interest rate buy downs there as well.
So for government loans right now, we're offering 4.99% interest rates.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
What a great time.
Oh,
That's good for the rest of the day.
Good for the rest of the day.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. What else we want to say about Baynard Cove? Hopefully, I'm not wearing you guys out.
No.
No, not at all. HOA dues, they're $1,500 per year, and the attractive part about that community is not only the feel and look of the community with the low country style and the tabby finishes. Tabby means seashells built into the concrete around the foundation, and then the porches have the haint blue paint to keep the mud daubers away. So again, a kind of low country aesthetic going on, but really the key to that community is the location. It's just a prime location, beautiful, like Samantha said, right off the Broad River, and then conveniently located to everything that Beaufort and the Port Royal area has to offer. Easy access to get over onto the Broad River Bridge area to, you know, go to work or to Paris Island.
Or even to go fishing down at the pier at the Broad River.
Community has its own sort of style and vibe, if you will, and I think Baynard Cove is, as I've heard described, more of a low country feel and vibe. And you know, that may not be as familiar to some of our buyers, so can I ask any of you to describe a little bit more of the look and feel and what you view as the low country aspects of Baynard Cove?
I would just say it's basically a low country lifestyle. It's just really laid back. It's quiet. It's peaceful.
So what are people going to see when they look around?
They'll see oak trees.
The most beautiful trees they've ever seen.
And the marsh
mossy
and
oaks.
Water.
They'll see the water. Yeah. So,
And then this is a new term for many people called tabby. And I think there's some tabby used in the construction there at Baynard Cove. Somebody describe what tabby means.
Tabby is what happens is they apply concrete and seashells to the foundation around the homes, and it creates this very low country style to the home. It just adds an additional level of detail to the construction of the home that you don't necessarily see in other parts of the country, and then combine that with the hardy plank siding, and some of the homes have the low country Charleston style double balconies, and you just feel like you're in the South. And then in the back you have the Spanish oak trees with the moss, and it's just a very romantic type of low country setting.
Nice.
That's part of the reason why we all love living here. Quiet, laid back, serene lifestyle.
Well, tell me, Rochelle, what does it mean when the sort of the bottom side of an eave is painted or a porch is painted blue? What is that all about?
So again, another low country aesthetic is sometimes the porches in the area are painted a color called paint blue. Goes back for many years now. Kind of a low country old wives' tale is that if you paint your porch paint blue, it keeps the spirits away and it keeps the mud daubers away. So
supposedly they think it's the sky.
the mud daubers think it's the sky, and so they won't build their nest in there. It really does work. I'm a
My
big
house
fan.
has it, and it works
Yeah,
for both.
so does
And
mine.
no spirits there either. So.
Only good spirits.
Only good spirits. So yeah, the low country is not a spooky place. Don't worry about that. What else, if anything, comes to your mind about Baynard Cove?
You know, it's another neat thing for that area, and actually even East Argent. It's centrally located, like to the Savannah Airport, to the Charleston Airport. So it's just kind of in the middle. So that really appeals to.
But it still
a lot
feels
of
like it's
people.
out there by itself and it's quiet.
It does.
You're what, 10 minutes maybe to the Lowe's infrastructure with everything around that
All
comes
the
with
shopping
it.
and everything.
But far enough away where it's quiet. It's nice.
Well, I love the diversity that you'll find at DR Horton, and this sounds like another great example of your work product and work ethic. Again, thank you so much for making yourselves available to tell our viewers about Baynard Cove and the great things that they can expect there. You know, I just wish you all continued success and keep doing great things to give people a better life through buying a home. Thanks so much.